so much.
Hard standard. Hard standard.
Hey, can you turn everything down to the drum a little? Yeah. Thank you. So, let me hear you guys if you're feeling all right tonight. Yeah. You guys are awesome. We haven't been here since like last winter or something. November. Okay, you know. It is amazing that you guys would come out and spend this time with us. So thank you all. On behalf of everybody on the stage, thank you all so much for being here. I was talking to a guy yesterday. I was doing an interview actually. He asked me, he said, what's your ultimate goal as a band with this next record? You know, what do you hope to achieve with this next record? And even though it was a secular magazine, and even though I knew what he was asking was up requiring the answer I gave him, I said, our ultimate goal is to see every single person on the face of planet Earth come to know Jesus Christ personally. And I think that the truth of the matter is that Christians on the earth, that people on the earth are far too easily pleased. The people on the earth are happy with being a good person. They're happy with never missing a church service. We're happy with looking good to everybody else. But when it comes down to it, we're not changing anything. When it comes down to it, all we're content with being is another face in the crowd. One of my favorite verses, a verse in the Bible that changed my life forever, says it is God's will that you should be sanctified. The word sanctified means to be set apart, to be different from the rest, to be something special, to be something powerful. It is God's will. Out of all the things that people tell you God likes and doesn't like, I don't care if you hear that God hates gay people, or God hates abortion, or God hates liars, or thieves, or robbers, or whatever. I don't care. What God's will for you is, personally, is that you would be sanctified, that you would be set apart, that you would not be another face in the crowd, that you would never be comfortable, that you would never be content with where you're at. For years, I stayed in the same place. For years, I stayed in the same place and said, well, as long as I don't, as long as nobody finds out that I'm addicted to pornography, I'll be all right. As long as my pastor doesn't know that I'm sleeping with any girl I can get my hands on, that I'm ruining people's lives, then it'll be all right as long as people don't know. And then, come to find out that whether people know or not, it ruined my life. Come to find out that there is no joy in secrecy. There's no joy in covering myself in darkness so that people won't know what's wrong with me. And so over every single person in this room, I call you guys out into the light. I call you guys out into a state of just vulnerability before God. Into a state of bearing your heart and soul before Him today. You don't have to tell me. You don't have to raise your hand. I'm not going to do an altar call tonight. But I'm going to say that God is in this room. The God that sees the human heart. The God that put you together with His own two hands and knows what you're struggling with. And He has said over every single one of you that if you would bring your captivity to the foot of the cross, it could be taken today. If you would bring your deception to the foot of the cross, it could be taken today. If you're willing to be vulnerable before God. So that's my challenge to you for the rest of the show tonight. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Don't be afraid to let God see what's going on, because He already does. And when you give it to Him, you will taste freedom unlike anything you've ever known. I promise. I'm speaking from experience and as a witness to that fact tonight. You guys are awesome. Thank you for sticking around.